Welcome to the NDPH Wolfson Laboratory. We are a central laboratory for several large-scale randomised trials and other epidemiological studies, supporting the receipt, analysis and storage of samples from all over the world. The majority of samples are received frozen in grey cassettes. Blood samples may be centrifuged and separated into different fractions, such as plasma, buffy coat and whole blood. Urine may also be collected. Each grey cassette is scanned into our laboratory database to record its receipt in the laboratory. The participant number is the only information the laboratory receives about the participant. Each grey cassette contains a number of barcoded cryoval tubes. Each sample type is identified by the different coloured lids on the cryoval tubes. Individual cryoval tubes are assigned to storage boxes using laboratory IT software. This ensures full traceability of every sample received by the laboratories. These sample boxes are being stored at -80 degrees Celsius, where they will remain until analysis. A storage box of samples is removed from the -80 degrees Celsius freezer and taken into the automated chemistry area of the laboratory for analysis. Here we are measuring a lipid profile and liver function tests on the AU680 analyzers. After samples have thawed, each sample is inverted and vortex mixed to ensure they are uniform or homogeneous. Quality control is prepared and analysed before and after batches of study samples. This is material with a known value for a particular test, for example, cholesterol. This is to ensure day-to-day consistency of the testing process and to ensure the reliability of study sample results. Quality control results are inspected carefully for errors and trends. Samples are loaded onto an AU680 analyzer. Each barcoded cryoval tube is read by the analyzer, which interrogates our Laboratory Information Management System for instruction on which tests are required for analysis. This area of the laboratory is filled with other analyzers. This includes state-of-the-art automated clinical chemistry analyzers and state-of-the-art immunoassay analyzers, which support our clinical trials and large-scale observational studies. These Menarini analyzers measured glycated hemoglobin in over 160,000 samples to assess diabetic control in the Mexican prospective study. All sample results are checked at 2 levels by laboratory analysts and laboratory supervisors before they are released to the study. We also have a specialist assay laboratory where we measure novel biomarkers which can't be run on our large automated chemistry analyzers, and where our developmental work is carried out. Here is the Nuclear Magnetic Resonance, or NMR laboratory, which requires additional safety precautions, such as wearing low oxygen monitors, as liquid nitrogen is used in this area. This technique involves placing samples in a strong magnetic field, which allows us to measure multiple components in samples simultaneously. In the case of blood, we can quantify over 120 different components per sample and can process 200 samples in a day. This laboratory is used for developing and establishing new methods. For example, here we have a system for detecting H. pylori infection markers for the China Kadoorie Biobank. We also have the facilities to carry out sensitive methods, which need controlled temperature and filtered light conditions. We are now entering our automated liquid handling laboratory, which contains 3 key robots. This system is used to automate ELISA plate methods and enables us to measure several biomarkers simultaneously in a single sample. We can process many more samples and with greater consistency than carrying out these tests manually. The other 2 robots are used to prepare samples for NMR analysis and for reformatting. Reformatting is the process of producing several smaller samples from an original sample when it is first thawed. This maximises the number of tests which can be carried out in the future without repeatedly thawing and refreezing the original sample, which can affect the reliability of some tests. After reformatting, or after any analysis is carried out, samples are returned to the -80°C freezers. These samples are then transported in our eco-friendly laboratory van to one of our long-term storage facilities. Unique barcodes on sample boxes are scanned into the laboratory database. The sample boxes are then positioned in a specific rack and then taken to an assigned nitrogen storage tank, which goes down as low as -196°C. This means that the location of every sample received by the laboratory can be located and a full audit trail is documented. We have 80 nitrogen tanks in use, split across 2 sites. Each nitrogen tank is capable of storing more than 70,000 samples. Currently, we have around 6 million samples in storage, which continues to increase as we support future research projects.